Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to MidwestLAN 20. We are broadcasting live here from fabulous Madison, Wisconsin. I am Samuel. I'm alongside Squid. They told Daz he's got to get out of here, and I'm in here now, so it's going to be a lot better.
Yeah, he said a couple of things on that last segment that we just couldn't have, so he's off the show. No, I'm just kidding. He's right there.
There he is. Oh, he's watching over. Did he hear that?
Get on something. I don't think he did.
He didn't hear that, right?
I bet he heard that.
Okay.
All right, we'll just assume that he heard that.
I wasn't throwing shade.
No, of course not. We never do that here, ever. That never happens in Rocket League.
No, definitely not. But Squid, I'm happy to join you here. I heard you casting a little bit ago. Those are pretty exciting games so far. A little bit more competitive than the games that I casted as well, so that's always nice. You want it to definitely be competitive.
All right, well, we should hope that we have a couple more competitive games moving forward here. We are going to be seeing a mediocre at best face off against MECH OG. And if I'm not mistaken, MECH OG right now 4-1, and mediocre at best 1-3. I half want to say, and I half don't want to say, they're living up to their title.
Ouch. I mean, if you're going to make your name that, then you may as well live up to it, right?
I mean, they kind of accepted the unfortunate reality of their situation.
It's true. And MECH OG, they must be robots then. Is that what that means? Or
I
that doesn't
can't
really
confirm.
seem fair.
I can't confirm. I saw Leftical and Wildcat. They are indeed robots.
Oh man, we need to make them fill out a CAPTCHA maybe before they can play.
No, you know what? We should implement them into the system because I honestly, Rocket League bots notoriously bad, but I guess if they're bots, right?
That's true.
We just get them to play, and then if you ever want to get stomped, then there you go.
Nice. Well, that could be a whole nother level of the Rocket League bots. So we'll talk to those guys afterward. Only if they win, though. We can talk to them about the Psyonix sponsorship. But Squid, we're going to be getting into this game here. We have got another best of 3. You said it, MECH OG against mediocre at best on the field. And
right now, mediocre at best going to be in the blue, MECH OG in the orange, and it's going to be a bit of a climb for mediocre at best, just looking at records. And if I know the players a little bit personally, and I do believe they might be a little bit outclassed and the underdogs in this situation. But if there's one thing I know about Rocket League, it's don't expect anything because different things can happen. Well, MECH OG is going to be leading off with an attack right here. It's going to be Leftical taking a shot. Wildcat trying to keep his one in play. Leftical for another one. Llama is there, touches it away. Well, MECH OG already starting out strong with a couple of passing plays, utilizing the backboard here or there. And it looks like this one will be moving towards the other end, but Leftical not going to let it go.
Yeah, good start here for MECH OG. You said it, they're pushing on offense. They had a chance to get a goal there if the accuracy on one of those shots had been there, but definitely a good start so far for them being down in the offensive side.
Coming up on the 1 minute gone mark, Leftical taking a speculative shot. Looked like it was just a tad wide, but Bread Boy is going to touch it away. A Wildcat looking to possess here in the midfield. Bread Boy, nice bump right there. Llama is going to have to try and play it upfield. That touch goes unfortunately neutral. Now Wildcat towards the corner. Going to opt out of looking for a second touch, but Leftical is there to play that touch from Bread Boy. Llama with another save. Leftical taking him out of the play for that effort. And Wildcat now looking to try and turn this one around. Leftical going to finish it off. MECH OG takes the lead with 3:39 remaining.
Yeah, good job there. That demo opened up the play. It was Leftical who started it off clearing the middle of the net, and he is the one that finishes it off. So it takes a little bit of a physical play to get it going, but that's tough for mediocre at best. They were looking out of place without those demos. So if MECH starts getting physical, could that be real trouble? We
shall have to see. Mediocre at best did start out on the orange half of the field right here, but Wildcat's going to send it right back down to the other end. Huge 50-50 win right there, I guess is the name of that game, and with 3:28 remaining, just 11 seconds of in-game time later, take the lead by 2.
That was a little bit of a whiff, but you see it a lot in twos. We saw it in some of the previous series where you go to make that challenge, but your teammate has not yet rotated back, and that means if you miss the challenge, you're going to leave the net wide open. So those sorts of mistakes, not really what you want to see, not when you may be outclassed. Here's Leftical looking for the double touch, doesn't get it, but Wildcat finishes it off 3-0 for MECH OG.
And this is the wonderful thing about a double tap. If you can't finish it off yourself, as long as it remains in the area of play, you got the defender down there in the net, and he's confused as to whether or not he's supposed to defend the double tap or the pass after. And Llama, of course, found himself in between those two. Unfortunately, couldn't make the play. MECH OG now up by 3. Looking fairly dominated so far. We've seen little of the orange half of the field, but we might see a little bit right here as mediocre at best attempts to push forward right off a face-off. We Leftical in the corner trying to push it away. Bread Boy does win out on that 50-50. Will lose out on the second one. It's moving back down towards the other end of the field, and Leftical will take over. Now pass to center. Great connection right there. Llama with an amazing read, though, puts it away. The MECH OG shut down of another goal. Llama looking for an open spot on the backboard, but Leftical is there. Sends it off to the side where he finds Wildcat shot towards the net, and that's the transition you really need if you're on defense.
Yeah, and it's a great backboard read as well. You see he wastes no time does Leftical, puts that ball out to center, and the teamwork is there as Wildcat reads that the entire way. You can see that they're really seeing each other right now, and those backboard reads as well, those are huge, because you're going to be able to stop the play from before it even happens, and that's what you saw there with MECH OG. The 4th goal coming here for them, and this is looking tough for MEDIOCRE at best in this first game.
And that's the thing about backboard plays. There's a lot of potential there for your team. However, there is a lot of transition potential for the other team. So it's just really taking the momentum of the ball and shifting it. And that's something some players will not realize. They did not give them the respect that they deserve. But now Llama looking for a 1v1 play, does push it to the backboard, but can't keep it underneath the post. Or sorry, crossbar. Will stay on the offensive half. Nice flick there from Llama. Wildcat will be there to put it away. Leftical with a long bomb clear, just going to give them a little bit of time to reset. MECH OG looking pretty comfortable dealing with that offense, but it's nice to see something at all from MEDIOCRE at best, because it seems they've been getting a little bit stomped. A great save there from Breadboy. Had to make a quick cut, but did make it work. Now a shot towards the net from Wildcat will be touched away by the crossbar. Fortunately, Llama was able to zone him out and cover that line for the shot. But we've passed the 2-minute mark, and MEDIOCRE at best are going to need to turn on the gas if they want something to happen here.
Yeah, it's been tough. They've been down in their own almost the majority of the game here, just at the whim of MECH OG. Here's another chance here as Leftical's in the air, but doesn't matter. This 4-0 lead is really a great position for MECH OG to be in. They don't have to get too crazy. They can just play a safe game, keep MEDIOCRE at best in the zone, and just finish this one out.
And like I said before we started the series, they are 4-1 in their group stage right now. And again, MEDIOCRE at best at a 1-3 record. So this match was destined to be a little bit favored in the favor of MECH OG, but I really have liked seeing MEDIOCRE at best coming out, and I know they're having fun. And I know that because I watched one of their games earlier over the shoulder. They're just here and they're having fun. If they don't feel like they're really going to be able to make an effective impact on a game, like they might not be able to make a comeback here, but they're at least going to have fun with it. And that's a really important part of playing Rocket League, I have to admit. But it does look like MECH OG has just been dominating. MEDIOCRE at best, they have had a couple of offensive opportunities I suppose we should talk about.
Yeah, nothing sustained, though, is probably the biggest thing, is they haven't been able to get that sustained offensive pressure that will often lead to chances. I think it just is really the ability of MECH OG. It's less MEDIOCRE at best not doing what they need to do, and more MECH OG just really bringing it to them.
Of course, and I mean, denial of possession could be argued as well. I mean, MEDIOCRE at best, they could be trying their best, and oh my goodness, what a save there from Llama, reading the passing play coming off the wall. Fantastically done, and you can obviously tell that they're putting in the effort, but it's just not going to be enough because MECH OG, they're, like I said, denial of possession. They're just not going to be able to make the plays that they need to make because MECH OG is just so solid in keeping that ball out of the hands of their opponents.
Yeah, so mechanically sound. They're looking for another one there. Not going to get it, but as the time counts down here, it's looking like it's going to be a shutout for this MECH OG team. Good defense by MEDIOCRE at best in the end of the game, but once it went to that 4-0 score line, it was going to be tough for them to come back. All right, players, I can't talk forever here, guys.
So MECH OG will end up killing the ball there. 4-0 in their favor. And it's nice to see, because we were talking about there's something of a skill gap between these two teams, obviously, but it's nice to see them keeping the score at least a little bit competitive. And you noted that their defense was pretty solid. And I have to say, I agree. It was fantastic seeing them even block the connections, because often when you need to make a pass defense play, it often happens before the play actually arrives to the target. So you're trying to cut off the pass from Leftical to Wildcat. But instead, they were able to make the play after the shot was taken. So that's very impressive in itself.
Yeah, I liked it. I mean, you said it there. We saw it in the end there. It was a good passing play, and they cut it off. I mean, they're down 0-4. This game's probably over, but they're at least able to read those. You saw the read was there. They knew what they were doing. So they've got a good idea about what the opponent might be doing, but maybe the plays just aren't there. I mean, that's Rocket League, right? You could be the smartest guy in the world, but if you can't make the plays, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, we'll have to see if they can change it up moving into game 2. 4-0 win for MECH OG, though, is pretty, that's pretty convincing, and we did see a lot of transition plays, like I believe it was, I want to say it was the second or third goal that Wildcat scored off the pass from Leftical coming off the backboard. And to note what MEDIOCRE at best was doing good there, they were looking for that backboard pass. Llama launched it up there, but Leftical was doing he did a great job of just turning that one around. And I mean, it's really one of the things that you have to be able to do well in Rocket League is making those reverse plays, and they do it fantastically, as they should. I mean, they've got the ESL monthly tag.
Yeah, and it all comes with trust as well. You've got to trust your teammate and know that they're going upfield. So guys, we're going to get going here on game number 2 of this best of 3 series here underway. Let's see if MEDIOCRE at best can get themselves back in it.
We shall have to see. It will be Llama to take over first. And this one's moving across center already. Unfortunately, Breadboy is not there to receive, but you already like to see that one moving across the orange half of the field in a dangerous spot. Breadboy taps off the wall. Will let Leftical inherit. Llama with a nice win right there, moving towards the backboard. Bump from Leftical keeps Breadboy out of the play. Very well done. Keep them out of the offensive half. Breadboy drops in the corner, over top of Llama. MECH right now just doing a little bit of zoning, looking for an opportunity to transition up onto offense. You can tell when Llama's going to take a shot towards the net here. It's a little bit high and wide. Leftical will touch it away regardless. Breadboy going to try and continue. And I'm really liking what I'm seeing. Mediocre at best has kept this ball in the orange half of the field for quite some time. Yeah,
that's really the most sustained pressure they've had in this series so far. Looking for anything right now to find some momentum. Did have a couple of chances there, but not able to bury it. But it is good because MECH controlled the majority of that first game. So it's good that Mediocre Best are getting down in. A demo going to stop that play from happening.
Now Wildcat 1v1 versus Llama gets it over top, and the demo's going to put the icing on that cake. After beating the one, it's an open net from there.
And that's just twos for you, right? I mean, you get the ball past one guy or even demo that guy, and all of a sudden, you've got that 2-on-1 situation. So that's what's nice about twos, a little bit different than threes, that those individual efforts go that much further.
And it can be very difficult for the mindset change for the person having to make that kind of defense, because often in a 1v1 situation, you're just looking to try and take it away from the offense to make it easier for your teammate to make a touch on the ball. But in that situation, suddenly you have to make the play yourself, and that change of mindset so suddenly can have an amazing impact. But Mediocre at best, they're going to keep it up, looking for the offense here. Llama not going to be able to get a touch towards the net, but they might still be able to play it in the zone. Wildcat has the ball, gets it over top of one. Breadboy just a little bit too late to that one, moving out towards center. Leftical a little bit too far backfield, is not going to be able to make an immediate challenge, but it's going to remain in the zone. Wildcat towards the net. Breadboy with a nice easy tap out to the side will kill that play, but Leftical is going to keep it alive even with no boost in the tank. And now it's one out towards center. Wildcat's going to take that one away. Llama looks like he thought he had a little bit more time to play with that ball, but Wildcat coming in out of nowhere to make that shot.
Leftical just playing with his food, a couple of good chances. Saw him put the ball out front, and Wildcat was not there just previously, but all it takes is about 10 more seconds to for Leftical to just do work in the corner, and he makes it easy for Wildcat. Those individual plays, huge in the twos environment. MECH though, 2-0 here. There's Wildcat in the air. He's going to get it over that defender. Nice carry from him. 2 quick goals to make it 3-0.
An incredibly intelligent play right here. You can see Breadboy was going for the demo and he heard him coming from behind. That's one of the things you want to use that audio for. And I know there are a lot of players out there who will tend not to use their audio. But it's one of those things you have to realize is you can get some advantages out of that. You could argue it could be game sense. And to be honest, I wouldn't disagree with you, but an amazing play. And any way you slice it. MECH now with a 3-0 lead. They're looking for more off that cross. Fortunately, Breadboy was there to shut it down. But honestly, we're looking at a pretty biased game once more as we approach halftime. And hopefully the Mediocre at best can change something up. And they've had a lot of pressure in the first half of the game, but they're really going to have to make some sort of fundamental change in order to beat these players, but it's going to be so difficult.
Yeah, I mean, this might be one of those situations where they just need to get a little bit better. And I don't know, you can't really do that right here in the moment, can you? So it's tough. I mean, there's a lot of skill on MECH, and you see a lot of the touches of Mediocre at best. Not a lot happens after that, and that's kind of probably the big difference is they're really just playing the ball downfield. It's going to be a goal there for Leftical as he's in the air. These goals that may be a little bit difficult, they seem routine for MECH, and that's the skill, that's the reads that they have.
Yeah, and another thing is Leftical just had so much time with that. Even if it was somewhat difficult, he could just stay up in the air and just relax for a couple of minutes, it looked like. He just had all the time in the world to make that shot.
Yeah.
And that's just another thing you can really say about twos is that those quick rotations don't necessarily always come in. It just gives them so much time to work with. Now Leftical trying to style a little bit, but it'll get touched out by Breadboy. And I think we might be looking at some very solid MECH game play as we move into our nearing the end of the match, I suppose is the way to say it. And there's no better way to put it than you put it earlier. I mean, for Mediocre at best, I mean, the only real solution here is to quote-unquote get better.
Get good.
But you can't really do that without some hours, you know?
Yeah, well, I mean, honestly, and it's not to say they're bad, obviously. They're extremely good just to kind of hang with MECH, but that's that skill difference that you see in Rocket League, and it can really become apparent at the end of that 5 minutes, as now we're at 5-0 here, still a minute 40 left. I'd like to see mediocre at best at least get a goal. They were shut out last game, and remember, they still have to play the tournament. They need something to hang their hat on. I'd like to see them at least get a goal here.
All right, so that would be good for mediocre at best. But another thing to note when we're talking about that skill difference is MECH OG. I know from a fact that the Leftical was actually in the RLRS play-ins, so it's a little bit difficult to really hang on that. And I know that because he beat my team in the RLRS play-ins. Unfortunately, Wildcats is going to get a little bit of padding for the stats here. We now move to a 6-0 lead for MECH OG, but the skill of these players really cannot be messed with. And I know there might be some in the audience that don't know what that ESL title means, and that means basically they're better than a lot of people.
Yeah, I know some people maybe think it doesn't maybe mean what it used to mean. But yeah, definitely. If I see anybody with that title in the game, I know it's going to be a tough matchup. And you see the skill there. That was a pretty skilled goal, that carry and then follow there from Wildcat. So I like what I'm seeing here from MECH OG. They're kind of shaping themselves out as one of the top teams in our tournament. We'll see as we move forward if they're going to have a chance to go up against Seoul. I know Seoul is one of the big names, and then that Mom's Legos team. But as we finish this one out, it's another dominant effort here. MECH OG 7-0. And you see this a lot. They're starting to really style on them. Another win there. I mean, if you can get it past 50-50 wins in twos are just huge.
Yeah, I don't think there's any better way to agree with you on that one. And I think that's what makes a lot of players so good at this game, is just winning 50-50s where it matters. Because if you can win a 50-50 every single time, that makes you a pretty solid player. Now, great pressure there. Red Boy had an opportunity to make the goal happen, but Leftical defended it like it was nothing and earned himself a savior medal. It looks like MECH OG will be taking this one.
Yeah, it's something that really impressed me when I was playing early in my career in Rocket League, is the backboard reads.
Yeah.
Top players are so good about reading the backboard. They take what should be a dangerous rebound and they just clear it downfield. So that's maybe what mediocre at best could learn from this matchup, is get up on the backboard, try to play that a lot. They were down on the goal line a lot with no boost. That's where driving up on the backboard can help you.
And so MECH OG looking to move their record in this group stage to 5-1. Contend up there with Game of Throws. I'm sure Mom Buy Me Legos is going to have a similar record along with Seoul Esports. And they get cheated out of a goal right there at the end, but they don't really need too much more. They're going to be taking that best of 3 in a convincing fashion. And I did call them out earlier on as one of the teams to watch out for, and they really proved it here.
Oh, definitely. You were telling me, you said this is going to be a tough matchup for mediocre at best, and sure enough, you're right. I mean, a sweep there and no goals scored for mediocre at best. So not just the sweep, but 2 straight shutouts as well, which is just, that's tough. I mean, that's tough when you're on the other team and you can't even get a goal in the net. You know, that's a little demoralizing. So see if they can maybe regroup and bounce back here. But yeah, I'm gonna keep an eye out on MECH OG. We're seeing our teams kind of make their way through the tournament, kind of seeing some of those favorites as well. So we'll see if they can continue up that same sort of momentum. But I think we're gonna take a quick break here, Squid. We will be right back with some more Rocket League, and we're gonna have a player interview as well. So we're gonna get one of those guys from MECH OG in here, see what their thoughts are on that match.